The moment has arrived.
I pushed the button. It's going to work.
This is going to be scary good, man.
I'm sorry?
We're killing it. It's Maddie Levine with my good friend Dave Van Auken. Welcome to the Fight Bananas Show.
The ruthless one, Elle Dawson.
Hey, guys.
Our girl, Gillian, the Savage Robertson.
What's up? How you guys doing?
Welcome to the Fight Bananas Show. 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern, only on Fight Bananas.
Woo, 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 woo. It's motherfucking Tuesday, baby.
Let's go. Let's go. What's up, Maddie?
What's up, Dave? What's
I missed
up,
you last
everybody?
week. I missed you last week.
Dude, I had some serious FOMO last week, but it was necessary. I needed to unplug and unwind, and it was fantastic. It was fantastic. And excuse me, it sounds like it is Elle's turn to unplug. Her and her hubby are en route to, I think they just arrived at a discreet location. They are off the grid.
Location.
Correct. They are off the grid this week, which makes me a little nervous. I'm like, can we at least have like a flare or something so in case we need to get you? Like, I'm nervous.
Flare. I love it. I love it so much. And it's wild. Yeah, I was gone last week. She's gone this week. I'm actually traveling again for next week, but I think I'm still going to be able to do the show. So I kind of figured, I think I got that all handled. What a time right now in Fight Bananas Land, guys. I'm blessed. We are blessed. What a time right now in Fight Bananas Land. Also, good times. We'll get to every good afternoon, kids. What's up, Chris? Elle is watching. She probably is. She's probably sneakily.
She better not be. She better be enjoying her. I don't think she has Wi-Fi where she is.
That's true. Maybe not. Maybe not.
But we'll see.
But before we get so into the show, huge shout out to HKA.
Love it.
Yep, HKA. Use that promo code bananas20 for 20% off, guys. They have gear. They got shirts.
Yes.
Look at this.
I am so pumped to get my gear. Dave, you told me I got some gear coming my way. I'm pumped.
We got a lot of stuff coming your way. Also, we're giving this hat today for free because I'm just a nice guy. A huge trucker hat, HKA. All you have to do is put in HKA in the comments. I made a post on IG, Facebook. Do it there or here. HKA, mailing a hat to your doorstep. That's what we do. Guys, go show HKA some love. Just go follow them. Just, show them love. There we go. Making money.
I love it.
We're just
making money, making moves. You had quite the week last week, bud.
Crazy.
You had quite the week. I mean, everybody, God bless America. 4th of July week. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
And you were celebrating in Anaheim, California for, just a little boxing match.
A little bit. A little crazy.
I'm dying to hear the POV of Dave Van Auken. Dying to hear.
So I'm gonna take you back from the beginning. Friday night, I'm in Orlando, Florida for Karate Combat, which I need to get into that. So Maddie, later in the show, after our guy Maurice at 1:30, maybe we can do a little 5-minute Karate Combat time because I got some fun stories about that.
Cool.
Friday night. So guys, the whole plan of this, I'm a huge July 4th thing. You know me, the big family. We have a lot of stuff. I was flying out on July 5th, first thing Friday morning. That was the game plan. Elle was going early. She was going to do the press conference, the weigh-ins. Elle was doing everything else. I was flying out on the 5th. Friday night, I get a call from our dear friend, the guy behind everything, Dean Toole. And he's like, Dave, when are you coming again? I go, Friday. I'm leaving Friday, July 5th. I'll be there first thing. I should be there for the weigh-ins. If nothing crazy happens with the delays or whatever, I'll be there for the weigh-ins. He's like, we might need you on Tuesday. I go, what do you mean of we? And because it's not like, let me go again, like Dean Toole is not running the show. The show is Fanrio.
Right.
It's like
this
a
wasn't
UFC.
a game-bred boxing show. This wasn't.
Right. So I'm like, what do you mean we? And what does that entail? He's like,
I need details.
He goes, there's an open workout Tuesday night. Masvidal, Pettis, Diaz, the main card's going to be there. They're going to work out and they need like an MC. They need someone to run it. And they want you. So I'm like, all right, first of all, let me call my wife. And second of all, let me see if I can like change flights or change stuff around. I don't have a hotel, all that. So long story short, Susie goes, go for it. It's wild. We're missing a lot of stuff with the kids, and I'm missing a lot of stuff. We had a basketball playoff game Tuesday, by the way, that we won, that we played tonight in the Final Four. We won on Tuesday, so we're still playing. And so with that being said, I was like, okay, cool. Then I need to change all my stuff. So then let's listen to this. Now, this is the fun part, kind of comes out in it. That is UFC 303 weekends, International Fight Weekend. Dean is there in Vegas. They're doing like the international thing. She's got Pearl Gonzalez on the expo. So I kind of reached out to Dean a couple times over the weekend, and I don't hear anything back. So I'm like, hey, maybe, like I said, he kind of said like, they might need you. Maybe they got someone else. Maybe they're just going to use someone else there. They're flying me in early. They're flying me in early. They're going to pay me, and they're going to put me up in a nice hotel for 5 extra days. Like, it's a lot, right? I understand if they want to go somewhere else. I know I got great hair, but they might want to do something else. So I don't hear anything back. Maddie, you know this. The show is Tuesday, everything.
Dude, this would drive me up a fucking wall, but continue. Go ahead.
On Monday morning, I'm doing my stuff. I'm living life normal. I think my week is kind of normal. On Monday, Dean reaches out and goes, so when are you flying? Did they change your flight yet? I go, no, Dean, I have no flight. Are you talking? Am I doing this thing on Tuesday night? Am I running the MC? Am I talking to Nate Diaz in downtown Los Angeles in a box room Tuesday night? Is this happening? He's like, yes, Dave, they want you. Like, they haven't reached back out to you. I go, no, Dean. So let me say in a quick 30 minutes, I had a brand new flight to Los Angeles, new hotel reservations. We had to put an extra O on some things, whatever. So then within 24 hours of that phone call, I was on a plane flying to Los Angeles.
That's freaking wild.
I had to get packed. I had to get a suit packed. I had to get everything. Yeah. Think of all that stuff. Yeah. And then I'm staying there for 3 extra days. So
there's so many things to unpack first before you move on. I want to say, number one, never underestimate the power of a good woman. You have a fantastic wife who understands that we need to jump on every single opportunity. Fantastic. Shout out to the real ones. Number two, gotta love people that, what's the phrase? It's something about raising all ships. Damn. But I love how Dean Toole constantly brings his people with him. Fantastic. It's a good sign, right? Number three, you're terrified of flying. So good job.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for
saying
that.
Baby.
I know.
Okay.
So I am terrified of flying. That's a thing. It was all happening so fast. It was such a whirlwind. I never kind of like thought about stuff, if that makes sense. It was just happening so fast.
Right.
Let's just kind of rewind, fast forward a lot of stuff. So then I'm there in Los Angeles. I'm there. I check into the hotel. I get everything ready. I got to change into the suit. Like I said, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to shout this woman out. She told me she doesn't want to shout out, so I'm definitely giving her a shout out. I got a new haircut lady. My hair on Tuesday night looked tremendous, man. It was top notch. It's still looking pretty good. I didn't put anything in it today.
Okay, number 4. Shout out to the hairdressers of the world.
Miss Brittany James. I call her Miss Brittany James. Shout out to her. She has a place here in Daytona. She is wonderful. I'm going to cut this up and send it to her. She's amazing. So I get a haircut. Literally, I get a haircut Monday at 4:00 right before I leave. It's the last thing I do. So I'm out there in Los Angeles. So now, like I said, it's not a Dean Toole show. He is if I could say the right word, he's the puppet master behind everything, but it's not like his guys running the show and not our normal people, right, Maddie? Like our guy, Thomas, the producer, who I love dearly, who we'll see Game Bread. I told you the date already off air, and we got Island Fights August 9th, all this stuff. So these are new producers. So I'm at the Novo in Los Angeles. Look that up. It's like a world famous arena. It's like in downtown LA. You walk outside, it's the Peacock Theater. It's where the Grammys are at. It's Oscars are at. It's the Crip. It's beautiful. It's in downtown LA. It's amazing. I'm there and I'm standing there in a boxing ring. All these fighters are starting to get here. And they're like, yeah, like this is happening. Like it kind of hit me really quick. Also, with that being said, there was no script. They didn't give me questions for these guys. They gave me a couple of notes. I will say that they kind of said his record's 21-4 and he's 7-0.
Right. Like here's the tapology, run with it.
Yes. But no script, nothing of that nature. So they're like, hey, terrified. Yeah, I am terrified. That's why I drive everywhere. Chris. I'll get back to that later. What's up, Jay? So now I'm there in the ring, and they put the earpiece in. This time it worked, Maddie.
Thank God. That's another story.
I have 3 people in my ear. There's an back of the house guy. There's a guy that's like on stage who's kind of be like, all right, this fighter's next, this fighter's next. And then there's the producer who's whatever's on camera. He's telling me, he's like, hey, we're panning to the fans. Hey, we're all in on the fighter. You can kind of relax. Hey, Dave, you're on TV. Like, he is in my ear the whole time, that kind of thing. So it's 3 people I don't know, never met, whatever, all this stuff. We're just flying, we're going, and it's insane. Who needs a stinking script?
I do, Chris. I do. Ask Dave. I freaking write out my scripts, baby. And make it sound beautiful.
You just want to know, like, some block-ins, like, and it's on DAZN pay-per-view and UFC Fight Pass pay-per-view and tickets and all that. Dude, there's a lot of other.
You want the X's and O's, for sure.
Yeah.
But what I love most about this whole opportunity is people don't understand. Shout out to Joe. Let's go, Joseph. You guys had a nice little meetup.
Those guys are the best, by the way. They're part of my story. I know I'm going long, but this might be the show today. I'm sorry.
No, but productive. Like we are literally getting a behind the scenes look at the biggest boxing match last week, so it's beautiful. But I love how people, like, if you've never experienced an earpiece, having to wear an earpiece,
it's crazy.
It is a whole new level of anxiety that I can't even explain to you. Like, try formulating what you have to say. Dave, you had no script, so you're trying to think of what to say. You have the producer telling you to, like, look here, do this, do that. Then you have somebody else talking to the producer who you, like, don't really need to listen to, but you kind of do. And it's like, oh my gosh. So you crushed it because it didn't even look like you were fazed by that.
I appreciate that. So here's like the last thing I wanted to get. Here's the funny part of it. So in my ear, they go, hey, Nate. So we got through everyone. It was just the last 2 people, Chris Oliva and Nate Diaz. They're like, hey, in my ear, they're like, Nate Diaz just arrived. Because we had a little bit of a lull. They're like, tell Nate Diaz just arrived. Hype up the crowd. Tell him he's going to be here in 5 minutes. He just arrived. I'm like, cool, let's go for it. So I go up there and I go, guys, Nate Diaz just arrived here in the building. Let's go. Blah, blah. I kind of did that whole thing, and he was kind of pumped, right? Like the whole crowd. They go right back in my ear. They're like, Dave, we apologize. It was Nate Diaz's crew. Nate Diaz was not in that SUV. He's late. So I'm dead. I'm like dead to rights. So for one, they wanted to show a video on the YouTube, and they do. I kind of watched it back already. They showed like a highlight, like a hype up video.
Yeah, a promo vid.
Dave is expected to crush it, dude. I appreciate it, Sean. I really do, man. So with all that being said, it was like 20 or 30 minutes. Nate was 30 minutes late. Finally, Nate got there. One, dude, I love me some Anthony Pettis. Devin Cushion's on the card. I have so much love and respect and so much lineage with Cushion. I've been through so much with him. It was awesome to do that with him and kind of have that moment. And I made that post. Me and Devin Cushion, I've called 5-6 of his fights in Pensacola Bay Center. We're in downtown Los Angeles in the same boxing ring for one of the biggest boxing events of the year. It's just so cool that we were there together. That was awesome. Moment. And I want this to be said too before I go in my last thing with Nate Diaz. I am a Jorge Masvidal guy, right? Like there's all these pictures of Jorge and I.
Yeah.
I was a fan of him before it was cool to be a fan of him. And then I'm going to be really transparent here. He signs my checks 4 or 6 times a year, and it's the best checks that I get all year long. I'm just for Game Bread Bare Knuckle. I've been at all the shows. They pay really, really well. I'm very happy with it. So I'm a Jorge Masvidal guy. You know what I mean? So with that being said, that was awesome to do that. Then Nate. Okay. So between me and you, I know this. Nate is finicky with the media or with the kind of what I do, the press, whatever you want to say. And between you and me, I'm just going to be very transparent. He doesn't like Brian Campbell. He was the one that was in the middle of the press conference.
We got to talk about the press conference in a second.
We will for sure, because it's crazy. I know some stuff of that too. With that being said, so I'm like, cool. Like, I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to like overdo it to Nate. Like, I'm going to make him feel good. Like, I just like, he has a bad feeling going into it, right? Because he doesn't like the other guy. So, like, I thought I played it really good. I called him living legend Nate Diaz, like little shit like that. And they wanted me to ask him 10 questions. I'm like, guys, he doesn't want to answer 10 questions. It's Nate Diaz. It's his shtick. I'm going to answer him 3, maybe 4. I'll feel out the crowd or whatever. And that kind of thing. He's like, all right. Afterwards, Nate said good shit to me. He appreciated it. He dapped me up. Backstage, his people said he's like, Dave, great job. His publicist loved it.
Time out.
Yep.
You dapped up Diaz.
Yeah. Me and Nate are cool.
You went like this. with Nate Diaz.
In the ring.
Fire
and
flames.
outside the ring.
Dude. That's sick. Okay, that's not many people can say that they've dapped up Nate Diaz. That's fucking sick. That's
like, we're homies now. We're tight.
Yeah,
he really did. Like,
you
he
did
enjoyed that I was quick and propped them up. That's what we should do. We should be propping up the athletes, the main eventers. It's their show. We should be propping them up, not fighting with them, Brian Campbell.
Dude, that presser was hard to watch. Before we get to the presser, though, open workouts. The only thing I was like kind of weirded out by was like, why were some of the fighters not doing the open workout? Like they would come in and do like a 2-minute thing and then leave. And then like, I think there was like one fighter that actually did a workout. Like what was the story behind that? Was this kind of like a last minute addition to the week? Like what, like weird.
I appreciate it, Joe. That's very cool. That's very nice of you, man. It really is. So no, the open workouts, I agree with you, Maddie. Like I assumed they were going to work out and then like me with the mic was like icing on the cake. Like, here's one question. Nate, I got this for you. Here's this. Mike Beast Boy Davis, appreciate the love, my man. He's sending us money. I love that. Mike Beast Boy Davis, sending pipe bananas. Love it, dude. So I thought the same thing. Half of them told me backstage, they're like, oh yeah, they're not working out. I'm like, okay, then.
That is the weirdest flex. That is the weirdest thing ever. Like, you know that you're doing an open workout. At least go through a freaking set a timer, do like 2-4 minutes, be done. Like, I don't know. It was so weird. And it's like, it made the broadcast look weird at times. Like without you there, like it would have been like really weird. Like, I don't know. It was a tough one. Yeah. But
it felt like there was no uniformity to it. It was just very like loose. And also, you ready for this one too? They gave me like, hey, this is the lineup. This is probably like who we're gonna have first. And because you're usually gonna leave Nate and Jorge Masvidal to the end. Mm-hmm. Well, Jorge was there. Jorge didn't want to like wait for others. He's like, I'm here. Let me just go. So Jorge, instead of being 8th or 9th, he was 3rd. So just stuff was that. So they're in my ear. They're like, Dave, Jorge Masvidal is coming up next. I was like, okay, let's go.
Oh, see, that's like crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know about that. It
was insane.
Press conference was definitely interesting. Brian Campbell has been in the fight space for quite some time, right? Yeah. And he's been on Morning Combat for quite some time. Has he, to your knowledge, done something like that before, where he's hosted a press conference, worked a fight night? Like, does he do that, or is he typically just a video journalist?
It's probably really bad of me to say this. I'm not exactly sure.
Not sure.
I
wanted to ask before
as the host of the press conference guy. I've never seen it. That doesn't mean he hasn't not done it. But the reason why I thought they used them, and this is what I heard too, and this is being super transparent, they had to agree. Jorge and Nate and their team, this was a co-promotion. So maybe one guy wanted Ariel Helwani. Maybe the other one didn't. Maybe Jorge uses Dave Van Auken as all their press conferences and wanted Dave. Maybe Nate didn't know who I was and I wasn't going to do them all. Like they both had to agree. So at that time, I think Brian Campbell was like almost a middle ground to both parties. Like no one knew what he did. And like, he's an MMA guy and this is boxing. Yeah. Like it was a little bit of
yeah. So that's the vibe I got. Chris, this is exactly where I was going with it. He seemed totally out of his element. So what I will say is this. There's a big difference between being a successful video media journalist, which I think he does a great job on the Morning Combat. I think he's a perfect person with Luke Thomas to like throw back and forth. But when you're a media journalist, You're opinionated. You're giving your opinion. You're asking, or like you're giving certain points. Whereas when you are running a press conference, you're not supposed to be confrontational, number one.
At all.
And number two, he's asking questions as statements, which drives me nuts as a person in the space, because when you ask a question but frame it as a sentence, or like a statement rather, it doesn't encourage the person to answer it. So it's like, he's like, Nate, so how do you feel? Like, or I can't remember what he said, but he said something in a statement and Nate just didn't answer. Like,
no, I remember, like, he kind of asked him, he's like, how are you going to win this fight?
Yeah.
And then
he goes, how the fuck would you do it?
Yeah, how the F would you do it? He's like, and then Brian Campbell, he should have backed off and just like giggled. Right. He went right back at him. He goes, well, you're the professional, Nate. That's why I'm asking you. It's like, holy, I know this, like I said, and this is probably being too transparent, but this is what we do here. They were not happy with it. Let's just say that. I just know.
I mean, it was written all over their face. Like, that's no surprise at all. Like, Jorge was not having it. Nate was not having it.
No, well, not even them. Like the entity, the company, Fanmio was not happy with. Like, again, these two guys are the main eventers. It should be all about them. And I know this sounds maybe corny, or maybe people don't like this. They should be gold that week. They should be untouchable. These guys are the best. It's about them. You got to prop them up. They are the main event.
Yeah.
If you're not propping them up, if you're taking them down, it's like, why the hell am I going to spend my $49.99 on it? This guy's challenging them. It's crazy.
And Chris, another great point. The host is not supposed to ask all the questions. They're supposed to keep the thing rolling, rocking and rolling.
That's funny you say that. They wanted that though. That was their. Right. That was Fanmio. So I'll support it, because I kind of was there. I Masvidal even told him what type of questions that. Yeah, I'll support him. They had, because I'm there, and I'm kind of, it's so stupid, man. Like,
there's so much stuff behind the scenes that the average viewer is not hearing or seeing.
Yeah.
And
not even that.
They were like,
even other media members too. Like, I'm with the media on a lot of the things, but then sometimes I'm like with Dean and I'm backstage with Jorge. Like, guys, you saw where I sat for the fights. I'm at the ring. Yeah. Like, no media member sitting at the ring. It's insane.
Yeah.
And I owe that seat to people behind the scenes on the Masvidal side, because they knew the content I was going to get. And there's a lot of other strings behind the door, but there's no other media. There was a whole media section. Elle Dawson was with us. She was in a media section. So I had so much more insights than most. It was a crazy week. And the hotel was immaculate. The hotel was insane.
That's amazing.
There was this huge bar at the second story. Everyone was there. One night it was just, we're all hanging with Duke Rufus and Josh Thompson. The next day, I told you off air, Sugar Sean O'Malley was there. There's people all eating lunch with Sugar. I met up with Pettis and his team. Maybe you might see some Dave Van Auken on UFC Fight Pass for APFC in the near future. It was just a crazy week, guys. It was bananas.
It was bananas. Dave, real quick, I will say your connection's a little spotty. If you want to hop off and hop back on, maybe. Your audio sounds great, but your beautiful face keeps chopping up. So
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So maybe if you want to, it might be best. I don't know. Maybe, yeah. Oh, it's the Maddie Show. Hey. But yeah, I love when we're able to share behind the scenes stories like this, because everybody's watching at home, right? Everybody's seeing the final product, if you will. But when you have teammates like Dave Van Auken, who's getting behind the scenes looks, we get to share that with you guys, which is the best stuff. And hopefully Dave can fix his camera, because I know he has a lot more stories. So it's just another amazing week for Fight Bananas. Elle crushed it on the socials. I was living my best life, totally off the grid. So that was wonderful. But now we're back on the grid. So Chris saying the UFC press conference model is what we want to see. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think the only difference, though, the UFC press conference, you typically have Dana White at the head or, a UFC representative at the head of it, and he's not asking a single question. I don't mind when the host asks a few questions. I think it's like a nice little warm up, a nice little teaser, nice little intro to get the party going. But there he is. But the questions should be very limited. So, Chris, I totally agree with that. Dave,
Am I better?
We're amazing. I know, Joe. I really wish I could have met you guys. Hopefully I can meet you guys soon because you guys are top notch guys.
Yeah. So we met them, Maddie and I. We met the Productive Boys right before the show. It was awesome. So too, that's another thing. So we get to the Honda Center. For one, the Honda Center was huge. For some reason, I just didn't think it was that big of an arena. 18,000 people for one, sold out. It was insane. Place was electric.
That's so exciting.
So we get there and we get there early because the media stuff. And then we met up with our boys Productive. It was so cool. We got an awesome picture kind of overlooking the arena. It was sick. It was awesome. So shout out to them. Dude, look at this. Look at this hat, dude. Come on, Productive.
I know. I
cannot wait for their site. Their stuff is so sick.
I love the swag. I love it it's so comfortable. And I honestly get compliments on it every time I wear it. I'm not just saying that. You did get to hit up Disney, you sons of bitches.
That was the best part of the week. So,
Dave, I love you. You're still very glitchy.
Am I glitchy?
You are, bud. I don't know, man. I don't know. Did you try a different Wi-Fi this time around?
It's the Fight Bananas Wi-Fi. It's literally called Fight Bananas.
Let's see if it works itself out. Maddie, if you get hyped up on Celsius, you could definitely do a Maddie Hour show, and it would be great. It would be funny and entertaining. Yes. Hello. I'm still working on the sponsor, though, so.
Yeah. We need to get that.
Return my call. Celsius, return my call. Bastards. It'll happen one day.
It will.
But speaking of an hour-long show, well, it's more like 25 minutes, 30. The Sunday Morning Brew with Elle and I. We are having so much fun with it. We didn't have it last week. We got some shit going down. But every Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard, it's going down.
Love it. Love it. If I could say, so Tuesday, workout, Wednesday, press conference, Thursday, all the boxers are cutting weight.
Right.
And it's July 4th. It's a big holiday. They're like, hey, guys, the media, take the day off. So we're in Anaheim. Elle flew in on Wednesday, all that stuff. She flew in just perfectly. So she's there in Anaheim. And our hotel, of course, I didn't know this till we checked in and all that stuff. I see people walking around with the Mickey Mouse ears. I'm like, what? Like, it's a 4-minute walk to Disneyland. Like it's the Disney hotel.
Wait a minute. So you were at you were at Disney World for 4th of July.
Yes.
Oh, that's so sick.
It was insane, Maddie.
Oh,
it was
that's
insane.
So sick.
Best time ever. I'm a huge Disney guy, of course, in Florida, but being out there on the West Coast, it was amazing. Elle had the best time ever. We spoiled the crap out of her. I had the best time ever, went on all the rides. But all right, enough about me. We got our first guest coming on, Maddie. We ready for this? I love
it. I'm ready. But before we do that, do we try and reset your camera one more time?
You might be doing the interview solo. I'm sorry, guys, if I'm glitchy. I appreciate
Listen, 2024, it happens. It happens.
But guys, this is the Jazzercise Streamline. Go check them out. Use the promo code FightBananas for 15% your full order. If you can see it, Jazzercise right there. If you can't, because I'm glitchy, I'm sorry. Go check them out. 15% off.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right. Are we ready for it?
Let's do it.
One half of the main event, July 27th, Charlotte, North Carolina. For a brand I've been really intrigued about. I've known for a long time. I've known of this brand for like 4 or 5 years. Now I'm interviewing Nate Diaz in the middle of the ring in Los Angeles. Let's bring on to the show Maurice Morris. First time here in Fight Bananas Land.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, Maurice, my man? How are you?
I'm chilling, man. I'm great, man. How you doing?
We're doing good. Thanks for joining the show today.
We are blessed.
Oh, no problem. I'm allowed to be here.
So first and foremost, let's handle the business at hand. July 27th, Charlotte, North Carolina, Fight for 21. Light heavyweight championship, I believe, on the line, right? It's a championship fight?
Yeah, it's a light
Let's
heavyweight
go.
championship. Another
Let's
belt.
Okay.
go.
How you feeling about it? I know the promoters. I'm going to be there myself. I'm going to be working that show for Fight For It. I cannot wait to be there myself. How did this fight come to be? How pumped are you for this big time opportunity?
Man, it's a big time opportunity, man. I'm pumped. AJ Chambers, I heard about him here and there because in Carolina, there's only a couple big dogs running around, and he's one of the names I wanted. I've been wanting to get in there with him and throw hands with him, see what he about. So I think it'd be a nice chance for me to add another belt to my collection.
Very nice. Are you from South Carolina?
Yes, I'm from South Carolina, it's a town called King Street, South Carolina, not too far from Myrtle Beach.
Very nice. I was gonna say you definitely don't sound like you're from my part of the woods, New England. Just what am I? South of Boston. So what's it like growing up in South Carolina?
Man, it's hot. It's hot right now. It's almost 100 degrees, but
Woo!
like it's fun. We got a little bit of everything. I live in Charlotte now, so you got the Charlotte. Then you up north, we got the mountains. Then we got the beach right there. So we got the best of all worlds here.
I love that. How long have you been fighting? What got you into MMA? All that jazz.
I wrestled through high school. If you know South Carolina wrestling, I won a few championships in South Carolina. Then I went to the Marine Corps. As I'm in the Marine Corps, all the guys in there was like, if you don't go fight when you get out, bro, we're gonna be mad at you. So I just gave it a shot, and once I fought the first time, I was totally addicted. That's why I fight so much. I fight most time at least once a month.
Wow, good for you, man.
Hey, first of all, appreciate your service, my man. Appreciate that a lot. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
And then also, I love it, Maddie. Did you hear that in there? I love a humble brag. I'm like the master of a humble brag. I'm always into that. He's like, South Carolina wrestling a little bit. I love that.
Yeah, for sure.
You mentioned AJ Chambers kind of off the rip, being a big dog. I'm telling you, I remember covering AJ Chambers versus Brian Battle. Like that was like that big matchup 4 years ago. Brian Battle's having insane success in the UFC right now, kind of becoming a little bit of a superstar. This is a big fight. Like you and Chambers, like I feel like the winner of this fight gets launched into that kind of contender series sphere. Do you feel the same thing, Maurice?
Yeah, I feel the same thing. Honestly, I feel like Brian Battles is the toughest fight he had. Like, he don't fight any tough guys. He had an LFA fight was tough, but other than that, he fight a bunch of cupcakes. So, like, I feel like he one of the next up. I'm one of the next up, but he's stepping in my backyard. Like, they call me the king of the Carolinas, so he got to come to my backyard to see me.
I like that. The king of the Carolinas. That's got a nice ring to it. I like that.
I'm writing that down.
I would write that bad boy down. How would you describe your fighting style for people that may not have seen it yet?
As you know, I changed my name from The First to Mayhem because that totally describes my fighting style. Like, I like to get in gritty. I want close contact. I don't want no running room. If you run them, I'm on your ass. I'm coming at you the whole time. I like big slams, like crazy ground and pound. I just like to engage the entire time. I don't no breathers, and if you want to breathe, go to sleep.
I love that.
What'd you say the fight name was again?
Mayhem.
Mayhem. Okay, because I'll tell you a story. So when I was an amateur kickboxer, I don't even know if Dave knows this.
Story time with Maddie. Come with it.
My amateur kickboxing name was the Menace. It was Maddie the Menace Grimaldi. So
what a stud.
I get you. I'm just a pure menace in there. Love it.
Yeah.
So it looks like you had some bare knuckle experience as well. So if you were to choose, do you like one more than the other when it comes to regular MMA, bare knuckle?
That's a good question. Because bare knuckle, the funnest thing you could ever do in your life. Like if you like fighting, it's the funnest thing you could ever do in your life. Especially in a BYB, the Trigon is nowhere to run. That fits my style perfectly. Where you could try to back up, you can't cut no corners, and you gotta engage those hands. But my base, I'm a wrestler at hands, so I love MMA. So it's a tough Toe toss up. I don't know which one I like, but
Hey,
I just like fighting.
Maurice. Yeah, we got. I'll call my guy right now. I'm gonna call Jorge. Dude, let's go game bred bare knuckle MMA, my man.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. We need you in there. I'm recruiting you. I'm recruiting. They put zeros at the end of checks, my man. They put zeros.
That's what I'm fighting for. I got 4 kids.
Oh, good.
Me too.
You.
Me
Good
too.
for you. How old?
I have an 11-year-old girl. I have a 4-year-old boy, a 1-year-old girl, and a 6-week-old boy.
Oh my goodness. God bless you, sir. Wow. That is fantastic. So it sounds like you're fighting for more than just yourself these days.
Definitely. I'm fighting for them. To show them you could do anything you want to do. Like I jumped in this, everybody didn't think I had a chance, but like you see, I'm number 1 in North Carolina, South Carolina, and I'm highly ranked in the Southeast. So just jumping in them and show them that if you want to do something, just go do it.
That's fantastic.
I got one more question for you, and then we got a fun little game to wrap it up with you, Maurice. My last question is, what is a perfect 12 months? We're about to, we're in July. So July 2024 to July 2025. What's a perfect 12 months for your fight career? What kind of happens for you?
Perfect 12 months would be me knocked down because I'm already caught it. I won every belt in the Carolina, so I need to get the fight for it. I got the next level one already. I need to get the Conflict MMA, and they got a promotion down in Myrtle Beach. I need to get all those belts. And then I'm going back to the LFA. I got unfinished business with West Shows and Leah Anderson.
Okay. All right. So we want 4 chambers. Woo! Whoa. We had no idea this. Aaron, the true king of Charlotte, has entered the chat. Man.
Oh, hello.
I wanted them both on, man. That would be fun. I cannot wait. I'm telling you, I can't wait to be at the show. It's crazy. I was just on the West Coast. I can't wait to be up there in Charlotte. All right, Aaron. All right. All right. Last 5 questions for you, Maurice. You ready?
Yes.
All right. First thing that pops in your head. What's your favorite dessert?
Ice cream.
Your all-time favorite fighter?
John Jones.
Ooh. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
I knew he was going to say that.
Yeah, I like that. It's the king of the Carolinas. That's what I'm calling him on the Saturday, July 27th.
I like it.
What's your favorite item in the closet?
My belt, my next level LC light heavyweight championship.
I like that. And my last question, who is the most interesting man or woman you have ever talked to?
Rashad Evans.
Oh, Sugar. The original Sugar.
Okay.
I like it. Okay.
I like that.
Maurice, man, we can't wait for it. Fight for it just kind of came in the chat. Great show. All looking forward to it, guys. July 27th, Charlotte, North Carolina. Get your tickets right now. If you don't live in the Charlotte area, you can get the pay-per-view link. We have it at Fight Bananas. We'll plan to send it out all under the comments and new posts all throughout the next 2 weeks. I cannot wait. I will be there live in the building. It's going to be epic. Maurice, any last words, my man?
No, let's go. AJ Chambers, you in here, so you know how I fight. I give you your props because most people won't sign the contract.
Oh, he was spitting fire that it was just like, you gotta cut
that makes it even better. We gotta wait till the press conference week. We gotta wait till fight week. Maurice, we appreciate you, man. Appreciate your time.
I like
that. We gotta wait till July 27th.
Yeah, no, I'm all about it. That was fantastic.
Wow.
I love it. I love when people are proud from where they come from. That's great.
The King of Carolinas, what a great nickname.
Yeah,
I'm using
so
that.
good. So good. Love that. That's going to be a fun show. King of the Carolinas. Look at that.
That's what I just need more bookings. I need to be more busy, Maddie.
I love it. Yeah, that's exactly what you need.
Crazy. All right.
You ready to peel back some headlines?
Yes, I am ready.
Peel back at the headlines brought to you by Fight Wipes by Clean Combat. This is what you need if you have any sort of gear. They basically want to help fighters chase their dreams, but also keep you clean. That's the way to do it. So if you go,
it's the only way to do it.
It's the only way to do it.
Only way to do
Find
it.
them on Instagram, Team Clean Combat, or you can go to cleancombat.com, grab those fight wipes. You're going to get, 30% off your first order if you use the promo code Go Bananas. Okay. We love our people. We love that you watch our show, and we love to stay clean. Okay. So use Go Bananas, 30% off your first order. Now, on to the headlines. This is crazy. Okay.
Yeah, that was great, by the way. That was phenomenal.
You realize I do this for a living, right? This is what I do for a living.
Maddie's the best.
Sean O'Malley, Jake Paul are getting in bed together, business-wise. They have a new drink coming out because apparently whatever Logan Paul does, Jake Paul has to do. They are coming out with something called W. It's called W. I don't know. It's weird. Fresh smelling, vitamin infused. Body care. Excuse me. Body
it's
care.
Like a soap. It's a soap.
Built for the win is what they're calling it. But what a duo. Sean O'Malley, Jake Paul, money. So it looks like they were
just swimming with sharks, Maddie. They were just swimming in the ocean with the commercial, and there's
so it looks like they were doing a little bit of promo. Ruby Rose is a very well-known actor. I believe she's a DJ too, if I'm not mistaken. But they were doing some type of promo in beautiful water, and a shark came out of nowhere and kind of ruined the shot for them. I'm not going to play it. Last time I played a video, I got our video flagged. So, but that's freaking terrifying.
UFC stuff.
Yeah, no, but that's freaking terrifying. Yeah. I don't know how I would react.
No, there's like things I don't mess with in life. Sharks in the ocean is one of them. I just do not mess with that.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
No, I'm not a fan. If somebody can help in the chat, what is it called when you are afraid of open ocean? There is a word for it, and it is me. I'm from New England. I am always in the ocean, but I am terrified of the open water. It's just like, can't do it. I'm like always thinking about like what's under me. Yeah, no, not a thing. From the video, it looks like they're okay. There's a piece of me that thinks it's like part of the promo. But the more that I watch it, it looks pretty.
Yeah, and it's just how it swims. That's a shark.
Yeah, and Ruby Rose just pieces it.
Just
like
chucks off.
Yeah, she's just like, I'm out of here. That's hilarious. Yeah. I definitely would have done that. Hopefully they're okay. Oh, Chris, always so quick. Thalassophobia, the intense and persistent fear of large or deep bodies of water, such as oceans, seas, or lakes. It can include fears of being in deep water. The vast, yes.
Dude, shout out to Chris, Maddie. His show Monday night is absolutely on fire.
Oh yeah, he's killing it.
Dude, he's been doing combat sports forever, for 20 years. Chris is on it, knows his stuff. Him coming with Fight Bananas over the last maybe 5-6 shows. Look at the numbers on Facebook on Fight Bananas. Chris is bringing in numbers. Like, Chris is on fire.
I love it. When you know what you're talking about, people respect that, you know? UFC this weekend.
Wait, Maddie, I'm sorry. Pause just real quick. I gotta these knuckleheads in the show right now. These Nick Pinto and
all of them. I miss everybody.
For one, Ian is a true legend. He wants a shout out. He deserves a shout out.
Does he though? I don't know.
He is tender. He is a great man. Ian Valencia, if you don't follow him, show him love. He doesn't want love, but he's getting it. He is a great man. The others, these knuckleheads, can get out of here. I didn't meet Josh Allen, okay? I didn't see him at the show. I was too busy sitting ringside, all right, Nick?
Oh, damn. Shots fired. Guess where I was sitting? At home.
We missed you, Maddie. We missed you.
It's fine. You'll make it up to me. I know you will. But yeah, so we have UFC this weekend. I want to make sure.
Yeah, UFC Denver.
UFC Denver. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Looking like a pretty solid card. Rose Namajunas, Tracy Cortez, the last minute. Now, here's something crazy. This is the first last minute opponent switch in Rose's UFC career. She's never dealt with this before. She even said the last time she dealt with it, it was like in her amateur career. So that's kind of a twist for her. She does still see a path to a title shot. Either way, your thoughts.
No. The title's past her. I'm a big Rose fan. We posted it a couple of days ago here in Fight Bananas. I was lucky enough to be live at UFC 261 in Jacksonville, the first show post-pandemic with people in the crowd. I was lucky enough to be there. The main event was Masvidal versus Usman, and Rose Namajunas fought Weili, head kick knockout. It was one of the loudest cheers I've ever heard in my pro sports going life. I've been to NBA Finals, World Series, NASCAR 500, 6 WrestleManias. Rose Namajunas, head kick to Weili, one of the greatest things ever.
Unreal.
Guys, father time happens to all athletes, men and women. It's just past her. I don't like the weight class moving up and down and stuff of that nature. These ladies are evolving very quick.
So
I thought
fast.
Macy Barber was going to beat Rose Namajunas. I had Macy.
I will say, I mean, Rose is 32. I will say, I think she's young enough where she could potentially, if she wanted to, make that run. But I think we've seen a culmination of years where she's just not in it like she used to be. Like when she was champion, she was very vocal about dealing with the weight of the belt, like how it was a heavy burden on her. She made it bigger than herself. Certain things like that. And I think it kind of goes with the idea of like, do you really want the fame type of, and now she's kind of on her way back. She's learned some lessons. She gardens all the time. She kind of isolates herself, like maybe she's in a better mental state. Nobody will ever forget when she came back and was chanting, "I am the best." It was the best thing ever. My man Tisser, still no Trevor Whitman in her corner. Interesting.
That's a big loss. Huge loss. Huge.
Yeah. Huge loss. So yeah, I don't see it. I think if she has a fantastic knockout, right? She knocks out Tracy Cortez. Then what? I mean, Tracy Cortez isn't even in the top 10. And
right.
Like it's almost like you were supposed to do that, And then it's like, who do you give Rose next after that?
I think they try to rebook the Macy Barber match.
True. Yeah.
Or you ready for this one? I think I got it. Because I've said this on the show 6 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, and now everyone's taken this line. UFC Sphere, it's going to be Valentina Shevchenko is not fighting in that sphere. I've been told this by multiple people, multiple agents, multiple people.
Why?
She doesn't want to fight on Noche. She thinks if it's a close decision, she's mentally.
Oh, so she's playing the game of like.
She doesn't want to fight Grasso on that night. Doesn't want to, which
she doesn't want. She doesn't want to have Grasso be the favorite type thing. Got it.
So Grasso and Fiora is going to fight that. So how about Valentina and Rose? Like that would be such a cool.
Sean just said that.
Huh?
Sean just said that. Check it out.
There you go.
Valentina would hurt Rose.
Thank you. I agree. Like Valentina would smash Rose Namajunas in 2024.
I've been a huge Rose fan since the beginning. Since I've been starting to watch MMA. So this is like 6-7 years ago at this point. I'm a newbie. But Valentina Shevchenko is on another fucking level. Her striking and her fight IQ is crazy. And let's not forget, she made one crucial mistake that Alexa Grasso capitalized on. Without that one crucial mistake, Valentina was wiping the floor with Alexa Grasso.
No, good point. Good point.
So I don't even see it. I don't see it even being close if they were to fight. So I don't know. I really don't know where Rose goes from here. I'm not really sure. And I'm shocked that Valentina would ever say no to a fight.
I think Valentina knows there's only so much left in the chamber, and why do the camp and why do the fight if she's got just say 3 fights left? Why waste this opportunity? And she knows too, if she loses to Grasso, she never fights Grasso for the championship again. It doesn't matter how many wins she gets. She will be 0-2-1 against her. Like, you can't fight her again. I just think she's older. She just waits. She might not even have to fight Rose, but even if she does, that's a really cool fight. We all think she kind of wipes her. She gets a big win for her Hall of Fame career against Rose Namajunas, a big payday, and then she fights Grasso for the championship, or it could be for Fiorot. Dude, Manon is huge, and she's a great striker.
Huge. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. Yes. Only in the world of MMA is that are you allowed to say to a female, "Yo, you're huge," and it's a good thing.
Funny. So you ready for this, Maddie? We were driving back. So long story short, I didn't go from California back home to Florida. I flew to Charleston, South Carolina, because that's where my wife and kids were at, a little July 4th thing, and they were with family and pool and all that stuff. So then I flew straight to Charleston, no sleep at all, jump in the pool with the kids. It's what I do. But now we are driving back home, and my son missed the WWE's Money in the Bank. So he's rewatching it on my phone. And when they do the guys, Randy Orton, 270 pounds. So they do that for men. When the ladies come out, they just say, here comes Tiffany Stratton. Here comes, Sasha Banks. They don't say the weight. So my son, who's 7 years old and just asking questions, asking about life, she goes, Dad, why don't they say the weight of the females? I go, son, let me teach you 2 things in life. You never ask a girl how much they weigh, and you never ask them how old they are. It's kind of just this secret line in life you don't do. It's so funny. So it's just so funny you said that. Like he said that in the car.
I love that. That's hilarious. What are some other fights this weekend that you're looking forward to? I love watching Jasmine Jasudavicius. I think she's super fun.
Say that again.
Jasmine Jasudavicius.
I think you nailed it. I really do.
Jasudavicius, whatever it is. I enjoy watching her fight.
Who's Damon Blackshear versus I think it's Montel. Blackshear. I met in Albuquerque at Jackson Wink. Really cool dude. Very athletic. That's a really good fight. Him versus I think it's Montel James.
Montel Jackson. And then
good fight.
Ponzinibbio. Co-main Ponzinibbio versus Solikov. That's gonna be a good one too. I mean, Drew Dober versus Gene Silva. That's
a good fight. I like that.
All pretty good matchups. I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good one.
Okay. If we got G coming on in 7 minutes, one thing we didn't mention at all through that first 25 minutes of Anaheim, we didn't mention the fight itself. Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz. One of the great boxing fights of the year. Dude. They went at it. One of the most punches thrown in boxing. All this stuff. Maddie, did you watch the fight? Did you just watch all the highlights from Fight Bananas?
I was dialed into the Fight Bananas coverage.
Okay.
And I got the gist and the highlights of what went down. But what I could not get over was the output from both of these gentlemen.
Both men.
Oh my God. Unreal. So let's see. I have some numbers here. Diaz throwing 100. This doesn't seem right. 151 total landed shots. Oh, here we go. Okay. So Diaz total landed 151. Total thrown 740. What? Masvidal landing 182. Total thrown 654. Dude. Wild. That's a lot of punching.
And I just like doing this because it feels like I'm really like big time in people. And I really feel I'm trying not to. I'm just trying to tell you the experience. I'm sitting ringside. There's some videos that Jorge almost steps on my phone. It's insane. It's the dumbest, luckiest life I've ever had in my life. So I'm there. The one thing I would say was so underrated. I've heard this over and over again. I'm just going to triple down on it. Nate Diaz is doing a good job of staying very busy, but he's just touching Nate. I mean, just touching Jorge. He's jabbing. He's just like doing this constantly,
pebbles.
Which is a great game plan, and it worked. And it's got to be annoying to get hit. And once in a while, you put a little pepper to it. All this, Jorge is hitting him with shots. Like Jorge is hitting him to the rip into the body. And he has this beautiful left. He kept on coming underneath in the body, and then coming over the top with the right. If it was about damage, like the UFC is all about damage right now. If that was a UFC fight, it is a huge unanimous decision for Jorge. Like, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, but I did talk to a couple people backstage, and they go, "This isn't the UFC. That is boxing." And it's a little bit of, if it was a knockdown, they would really give it a Jorge. But they're saying, yeah, Jorge's maybe hitting them harder, but not sometimes more. It was just like weird.
Yeah, it's important to know the rule set, I guess, you know, like
I was there live. I felt like Jorge won the fight. That's my 2 cents. I know I'm biased. That's fine.
These numbers are from ESPN. They're punch stats. So when you're talking about power, Diaz landed 115 power shots. Masvidal landed 152 power shots.
Right.
So there you go. Do with that what you will. I think it's all about the
Ryan Garcia was there.
Dude, yeah. Wait, we haven't even talked about that.
I'm
literally hours before, he's tweeting about how he's not allowed to go watch his brother fight, and he's off to rehab. And I'm like, what is he just trolling the world right now, or is he truly mentally ill? Like, I'm starting to not really know.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
A little bit of both. He is definitely out there. He's out there.
Yeah.
But again, like, when it was time to, like, he's more coherent than what people think. I just think he's kind of playing this character up, and this is the lane that he's in, and he knows it's a money-making lane.
Yeah.
And he's playing it. I guess, yeah, he definitely didn't want to be suspended. I can tell you that. He's upset about that. He really is upset about. He doesn't want to not be
expelled from something.
Yeah, WBC.
Like, dude, like, I mean, clearly something's mentally wrong.
Yeah.
I like, oh God, it just makes me so sad, because it's like people like that who are mega millionaires, you can only hope that they have good people in their circle to kind of protect them. And I don't know if he has that, which is really sad.
Our guy Devin Cushion with a huge win. That was crazy. That was so cool. That was probably the guy that I connected with the most this weekend. We've always been cool, but just we had like more time and energy together. His dad was out there. His mom was out there. It was pretty awesome, man. That was crazy. It was such a good time. But to wrap up Anaheim, let's kind of introduce the last guest of the show. And I know Maddie will have another minute with you, and I know you'll have to leave. I know you love saying hi to her. Yeah. And let's talk to her about Anaheim a little bit. Let's talk to the savage one, Gillian, the savage Robertson.
What is up?
How are you?
How are you guys doing?
Happy July 4th.
Oh, thank you. I actually got to celebrate a holiday.
That's right. Did you do anything fun?
Me and my boyfriend, actually, we were making fun of ourselves because we ended up going to a Korean barbecue on July 4th.
I bet you had the whole place to yourself, though.
Yeah, no, we definitely had a lot of space there. But yeah, so we celebrated in our own way.
I love it. That's great. Awesome. Fantastic.
Did you check out anything of California, of Anaheim, the Nate and Jorge boxing the whole week? Did you check out any of the festivities?
Unfortunately, I didn't get to catch a lot of that. I did catch that they had an amazing interviewer out there, you know? So I saw some pretty cool shots out there, you know? Getting some shots with Masvidal, Nate Diaz. It was awesome.
Hell yeah. I love it.
Maddie thinks it's super cool that me and Nate dapped up. Like,
I mean, listen, not many people can say, like, yo, I dapped up Nate Diaz. Like, that's what's up. I would be nervous with, like, a situation like that where, like, I would, like, go for a handshake and then they would go for the dap, or like you know, that awkwardness that happens sometimes. I'm like,
with my hands.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Actually, G would have loved it. This is the behind the scenes story, and G would love this. So we're at the Novo, and this is like a really cool intimate theater in downtown LA, G, and we're doing the show. It's over. The fans are gone, and we are all starting to leave. Nate, when I'm not even joking, you has 30 people with him, has a posse, his bouncers, his team, his fighters like Jake Shields, all this stuff, his publicists, his guys. He has 30 people with him. All he wanted to do was go to the second story of this Novo where like all the seats are at and maybe enjoy a plant substance and just like chill up there in the second story. I'm like, dude, Gillian would be in heaven right now. In heaven.
You should have followed him.
Dude,
Like, just quietly involve yourself.
Yeah, I got the dap. I'm good.
That's fine. Well, I gotta run, guys. Savage, it's always good to see you. Have a great rest of the show. I'll talk to you guys soon.
See
Later,
ya.
Mad.
Bye.
There we go. Maddie Levine's the best. Crazy. So, all right. It's been 2 weeks. Yeah, it was an off week. So UFC 303 and all that stuff. Are you still on cloud nine about the win? How are you feeling? Where are you at mentally, physically?
I guess I was upset there wasn't fights this weekend.
I know.
I wanted some UFC fights to watch. I was telling my boyfriend, I'm like, I was just so excited to be able to be a fan again. I'm like, you can watch fights as like, yes and no, because now there's like I still got to watch the 15ers, like who's next. But I get to be a little bit more of a fan, you know, where I don't have to be so stressed out watching the fights. Right? It's like even watching fights, it's almost like I put myself in there, you know?
Right. This is a good question by Sean. Goes, how do Canadians celebrate an American holiday? Is it like Americans celebrate Cinco de Mayo?
I'm pretty sure like any holiday is just an excuse to get drunk.
Very true. Dude, Sean, I'm like the master of daps. Me and Nate. We got it for sure. We got it. Christopher J goes, Gillian, great win versus Robertson. I scored it 30-24, 10-8 in all 3 rounds. You dominated from bell to bell. Jeez, I like that. My friend.
I'm like just re-listening to the fight. John Anik was saying the same thing about it. He was saying he gave me all 3 10-8s. And I'm like, just hearing that, I guess, I don't know, it gives me a little bit more confidence, but I just feel like I don't feel like I lost, but I don't feel like I won either. I just kind of feel like lackluster without a finish.
It's so funny you say that because I understand what you're saying. And I actually talked to Grant a lot about this. He used the same way. He had one judge. It was so funny. One judge, 30-26, the other 30-27s on that pay-per-view with Poirier. He was like really upset. I don't want to go too much into it. He felt like maybe a little bit of the same way. But I go like, of course, everyone wants to finish. And I totally understand that too. I'm not saying whatever, but it's like when you dominate a person for 15 minutes, like sometimes it's almost more skillful, if that makes sense. Like you dominated someone who might be in the UFC Hall of Fame one day, like from bell to bell, like what Christopher James just said. Like you gave her no little runs. Like for 15 minutes, you were the better fighter. There wasn't a close thing. Sometimes you could be losing a round and then get the submission and you lock her up. It's like, oh, you won, but like it was a little back and forth. You dominated her.
And I guess like that is the goal of what like Dean always says to me. He's like, if you don't get the finish, it's because you ran out of time. And I guess this is one of those scenarios. So it's like it still is the goal of what we want to do, but I guess you just have a little bit regrets in the back of your mind, just like, oh, maybe if I opened up, gave her more opportunity, I would have seen like the hole that I could have capitalized on, or did I play it too safe, or you just kind of second guess yourself regardless.
For sure. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. I know you don't want to get back in it right away. I felt like 3 fights ago, you had one of the best fights of your career. Then you kind of had a really, really quick turnaround with a lot going around in your camp. Maybe one of the worst performances maybe of your career, right back and forth. And now you just mashed it up with 2 great wins. You got this run again. I know you want to take a breath. With that being said, how long? Like I have it here in my notes. I'm like, do you want to take the summer off? Is that kind of the game plan? Do you want to like, hey guys, give me July, maybe August. I'll kind of start treaking back into it. And then we'll see a date in October or November, or where are you at mentally with that?
I don't know. I guess I'm playing around with it a little bit. Originally, I said December. I felt like was going to be a good time for me to get back in, one before the end of the year. The UFC has already contacted me with a date that I had to turn down because it was too soon. So it was 8 weeks from now, which is exactly the turnaround that I had for the Tabitha Ritchie camp, which Obviously my body just didn't react. I wasn't able to cut the weight. So it's something that I know I'm physically not capable of at this moment. But like, I was literally sobbing, like heartbroken, having to turn down this fight. Like, it was the worst news I had all week. It literally just like added on to the fact that I didn't finish, and then me having to turn down this fight. I was just had a little bit of a rough day. I think it was Tuesday. But I guess with them, I know that they want me back soon. I may want to try to push it a little bit sooner. So maybe like I still need some time for my body regardless. So I still need at least a month, I want to say, for my body to recover a little bit from the weight cut. And then we can start talking about dates. But yeah, I don't want to push it too much, but I'm almost like tempted to.
It's so funny. I like knowing some of that stuff, right? I was like, I'm proud isn't the right word, but I was like, dude, it's amazing. There's a lot of opportunities that I get. And like I said, I got a huge opportunity Tuesday, California. Hey, you're going to MC Nate Diaz, Masvidal, Pettis, and whatever. I was like, boom, I'm in, fly me out. Let's go. And like, there's some opportunities for fighters as well. Like you just almost can't pass up. But like when you told me about it and why, and there's a, I feel like more legitimate, now, because you did it and it didn't work. It's like, if you would have done it again, it didn't work. You would have been like killing yourself. You're like, I just told myself I would not do that. And it felt like so strong-willed. Like, I guess that's the right word. Like for you to turn that down is like, you deserve props. And I know a lot of people are not understanding what we're saying, but I'm telling you on air, like you deserve props for turning that down. It's a lot of strong will.
If anything, I feel like I am, I guess, a little bit proud of myself that I was capable of turning it down.
Yeah.
Because I know it's something that I wouldn't have been capable in the past in my career, and it's probably the reason why I've taken some losses that I didn't need to take in my career. Like I lost to girls that I'm definitely better than because I took fights when either I wasn't ready or like, say that I'm not taking anything away from her. She got the win, but like 6 weeks out from Macy Barber, I tore my meniscus and I still took that fight. It's like probably not the smartest idea. Probably should have pulled out on that one. But it's like I was too headstrong where it's like now I need to be making those mature decisions in my career.
The bottom left corner of your picture, it says Savage, and you are for a reason. There you go. Did you see that the girl that we are maybe talking, the woman that I shouldn't say girl, the woman that you were talking about, she's still kind of posted. She's got big fight news in the works. I guess they're doing something. I would assume, you ready for this one? I would assume Tabitha Ritchie versus that other person is going to happen.
Oh, well, I'm assuming this is public because Dean, I had a voicemail on my phone earlier. Dean called me. He was doing some podcast and she was on it and talking a little ish. She was like, "Why are you ducking me?" But that's obviously a fight that I want. Being so cryptic here, I'm like, should I just say it?
It's up to you. I'm like,
like I said, I'm assuming she's talking about it publicly. She talked about it on Dean's podcast where Angela Hill was offered to me. And obviously in a joking manner, she said, "Why you ducking me, ho?" And it's just like, it's a fight that I want more than anything. I want to say yes. I just need a little bit of give me another month and I'll be good. Yeah. And I'm saying yes to it. I just can't make the weight cut right now.
Right. I said the same thing to Mr. Dawson. I want that fight poster, G. I want that fight poster.
I want it so bad. Like I said, I was literally sobbing because I had to say no to this. I want this fight so bad. So like, it's just, I have my fingers crossed that I don't think it's going to happen. I'm assuming they're going to move her. Like you said, like a Tabitha Ritchie, give her the next opportunity. Whoever is ready for it at the moment, because I'm not. But I'm like fingers crossed, like just push it back 1 month, please.
It's so funny. So in Fight Bananas, we're gonna have a new show coming out in a couple weeks. It's just something fun that me and Elle went back and forth with, like a kind of cool new idea. And what we're gonna do is you can name any name you want, G, in the UFC, kind of in the top 20, 25, but it doesn't have to be the champion, right? But you can name any name. And we used you as an example. We're like, hey, Gillian the Savage Robertson is going to win the championship. This is the road starting now. And we go, hey, if she beats Angie Hill, and then she fights Mackenzie Dern, and then she fights Furo, like we just done this road, and like we're gonna do that for all these guys, and we're just gonna let the fans pick any name they want and be like very random, very organic, you know, whatever. Give me a welterweight, Vicente Luque. All right, he's got to go this, and this, and I think it would be kind of fun and a new thing. But it was so funny. We talked about you in the division and like the next 3-4 things. It could be crazy. But all right, Sean, we're getting to it, Sean. We're just talking some shop right here. All right, me and G are talking. Can we ask G about what she thinks about this main on Saturday? Tracy Cortez, Rose Namajunas. G, what do you think?
Excited for that fight and excited for I think it's the main event of the prelims. It just got changed this week. Yeah, Jasmine and then new sign Fatima Klein. I'm like, okay. Fatima's gonna be something for like the 115. I'm like with the Tracy Cortez and Rose and Jasmine, they're all 25ers. So I'm like interested in the fight, but as a fan, I'm like Fatima's the one I'm gonna be watching where I'm like, she's gonna be in the rankings, top 15 in the 115ers. She's gonna drop down to 115 after this fight because it was just short notice. And I'm like, she's gonna be one to watch. I'm like, for me, for competition wise, I'm gonna be watching Fatima a lot on Saturday night. But when it goes to the main event, Rose and Tracy, I was actually more interested in the Rose and Macy matchup.
Me too. I said the same thing earlier.
Oh, I wanted to see that, but Rose and Tracy, I think you kind of see the classic like striker versus grappler. I think Rose does just have a little bit more of an edge to her in this one. I think she's a little bit more well-rounded. I don't see Tracy being successful with her takedowns as much. I see Rose being able to pick her apart a little bit on the feet.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like, I love the fight nights that are in towns. Denver is a great, great city. So like when they made UFC Denver, I was like, dude, this is cool. There's a lot of really cool under the radar fights that I think fight night we're gonna be like, oh, this is awesome. But to me, Rose and Macy was awesome. Like that was a really cool main event and was like, hey, is Macy here or where is she? And we know what about Rose. I just lost its luster. And I just like to say it, no disrespect to Tracy Cortez. Hey, she might come out here and as an underdog win, whatever, God willing. But it's just like, it just lost the luster of the fight. It just felt like to me. You know, is there another one? I
was just gonna say the UFC seems to be struggling this summer with there's like 3 events in a row where they've completely main events have fallen apart in the last 3 events. It's just like I can't imagine like behind the scenes it must be a complete like disaster.
It goes through bugs sometimes. I feel like the UFC, they go through months that like the whole pay-per-view stays the same. Every fight night main event, nothing happens. It's like 2 months in a row, beautiful. And then there's like a month, and this is the month we're in. It's just like, oh crap, everything goes to hell. Like I really feel for some reason that Leon and Bilal, I hate saying this out loud in the universe. I'm like, that fight's not happening. That fight is not happening. One of those guys or Leon, I have a bad feeling about it.
It's ever since the fight gods, they gave us UFC 300 and it came through perfect. They're just like, nope, that was it. That's the end of it.
We're giving you Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje in the greatest moment ever. You guys are done.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy. I know that one thing that was pretty cool that I saw, it was like, we're kind of in the middle of the year and they were like doing fighter half of the year and male and female. To me, it's very hard for the female because there hasn't been a female with like 2 big wins or one with like a huge win. The male one, there's only one option. Like, and like I saw people arguing this, there's only one option. Am I right?
I think it will, if we're going to say the same person, Pereira.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pereira, yeah. Okay.
He's won 2 main events, like in the 2 biggest shows of the year. It's like, guys.
And talking about how he wants to come back soon.
I know, he's insane. Like he's literally, which is amazing. Like he's kind of what Hazmat Chimaev, what we thought we were going to get. Like he is actually him. Like
what a letdown
crazy.
With Hazmat, man. Dude. I'm like, just such a weird career in general.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
really
he like did so significantly well in his first 2 fights, took him a week apart, and then like took like 2 years off, and then has had some like shoddy win, like it was like people coming in on short notice or like he missed weight by 6 pounds. I'm like, just it's such a weird career. I feel like.
Yeah, no, it really was. Last kind of thing. I have a couple other fun little things, but this is the last thing I definitely want to talk about. I didn't talk about it last week. I wasn't here. I was out there in LA. Dude, so I was at Karate Combat in Orlando 2 weeks ago, the weekend of your fight, right? Yeah, that was the weekend of
the big choke out.
dude. Insane. I like that one video. I think that video's got over 1 million views. Not that the knockout, we can now finally like talk about it because he's okay now. The knockout of James Vick was one of the most sick things I've ever seen live. I was like, gee, I've seen a lot of stuff live and a lot of knockouts, of course. Like it was never that, it was so serious right away. Like everyone knew it's like, whoa, this is not good. Like this is wild. Like with the paramedics right away. It was crazy. But the whole show with Phil Rose walkout, Joe Penafill's fight, it stinks that Joe Penafill kind of lost, but other fighters had good. It was one of the best shows I've ever been to live. It was a party. I want to give Asim a huge like tip of the hat. They had like a backstage like for media / like VIP. They had like a backstage, all you can eat, all you can drink, free liquor, free alcohol, free food. It was insane, G. It was the coolest show. It was awesome.
I say just the last part there, free food, free liquor, sign me up, you know?
I know. It was insane.
Yeah, no, I caught the main event and co-main event. Obviously, that was weigh-in day for me, so I was a little bit focused on my own thing.
Yeah.
He said the co-main event, Joe Penafill. That was actually one of my teammates who knocked him out. Was Arturo
Short
Vergara.
notice.
Yeah, short notice for Arturo. It was supposed to be another one of my teammates, Ryan Coos, was supposed to take the fight. He got injured. Arturo stepped up. And honestly, Arturo's one of the hardest workers in my gym. One of the people I have the most respect for. I was so happy, screaming in the hotel room. Like we usually do film study all week on fight week. So we were just about to start the film study and we threw that up on the TV right before. It was so amazing to watch. And then the knockout from James Vick. From Rafael on James Vick. It was absolutely just devastating to watch. And it's like, I'm just like, for James Vick, how many of those can you take in your career? Like at what point? Because like in the UFC, he had a couple rough ones too. At this point, it's just rough to watch.
The crazy part about that is like people are forgetting that there's a little gap of time. So that happened in the UFC. Then he kind of went on like the regional show. I believe even one in LFA, and the same thing happened. Like he got 2 or 3 really bad knockouts in like the regional shows. You know, I understand. Usually you think you don't see that kind of knockout in Karate Combat, but like, dude, you are now. Like the athletes, Rafael is dude, he's a bad man. Like he is he was a UFC vet. He's got power. These guys are bulking up. They're not fighting kind of at their like, fight weight. They're kind of fighting higher. So they got more power than ever. It was so nasty. Like the wet towel, baseball bat kind of a sound on the guys. Like it was insane.
Chills.
All right. The choke thing. Let me kind of talk about this because like I heard this a couple of times. And like I said, I felt like I couldn't get into it. People were like, oh, it was staged. It was staged. I was there live. It's 100% not staged because of just so many things to go into it. When both teams came out, like they were chirping already, like before the fight even started. There was bad blood beforehand. So it's not like this guy came out of nowhere and whatever. So there was bad blood. And then there was more talk after the guy won. And that's when the guy kind of got really heated and started running after him. And then again, not a lot of people saw this. Asim was like okay with it when he was in the pit and there's other, security. It was when he started kind of running towards like that edge when he was close to Asim and his wife. That's when it seems like, no, over. Like you kind of are in a, you're in my family space now. Yeah. Like it's over. And that's when, as soon as he got too close to Laura, right? Laura?
Yes. Laura.
Yeah, Laura. And then that's when the choke came in and he went to sleep. It was crazy. It was like such a theme a couple weeks ago in Orlando.
Like I said, we were on the way back from literally on the bus back from weigh-ins watching that. And my cornerman, Roy, he was just like, oh my gosh, you have to watch this. Like we're sitting there in the hallway stopping, trying to rewind it, get the footage. It was an absolutely insane scenario.
For Fight Bananas, it was Karate Combat Orlando, and then we went straight into this Masvidal thing. One video of Masvidal and Nate is over 1 million views. All the stuff we posted, like the press conference and the weigh-in, and I think the open workouts all together got over 1 million. Karate Combat, there was both videos together was we've got the most views, I feel like, in this short 9-day span we've ever had in Fight Bananas run. It's just been crazy. It's been a good run. It's been wild. But yeah, I think that's it. Gee, LA, oh my goodness, it was insane. It was nuts.
Oh yeah, no, I just from the pictures I could tell it was such a dope scene.
Yeah, it was so cool. And the whole week, and what I was telling Maddie a little bit, and this probably more than the most, it was so cool. Just the hotel bar, the fight night, the fight day, we're eating lunch at the bar, and you look to the left, there's Sugar Sean O'Malley and his coach Tim. There's Duke Rufus because he's there for Pettis. It's just what kind of life is this? What are we doing? There's just everyone was every night, everyone was downstairs hanging and talking. Ryan Garcia and Sean Garcia was at the hotel. It was just it was a scene. It was so crazy.
All right, that's how I felt like it was all last week because it was International Fight Week while I was out there. So it was just everybody was out there. Yeah. All the fighters, just every other day you turn around, you're like, oh, that's this person.
Yeah. So even the fight night after the show, met BJ Penn, Bisping was there, Rampage was there. There were so many people in Anaheim. It was really cool. Welsh and Richie was there. Didn't get to see them. I would have, come on, Baby Shark. I would have just, throw a little whatever. Throw a little shade or way, I don't know. But anyways, my last fun thing for you for International Fight Week, when you're there and you're seeing everyone, is there someone, even with as high as you are, we have UFC records. We have done a lot of great stuff in the sport. Is there still a man or a female from the fight game you're ooh, that's a little butterflies. That's that's someone older school, or gives you a little bit of that oh, that's pretty cool. That's awesome.
Well, I'll say obviously I've met a bunch of UFC fighters at this point.
Right.
There's only been a handful that have ever given me that feeling. And well, the first one I ever met was Tisha Torres. So the first time I ever sparred Tisha, I remember being scared shitless, being holy fuck, that's Tisha Torres standing across the cage from me right now.
Yeah.
The next one that I feel that made me starstruck was I fought on UFC Edmonton, and I can't remember who he fought, but Max Holloway was the main event.
Okay.
And I just remember first thing I got off the airplane and
Ricardo Lamas.
Was it?
No,
I don't think so. For some reason I want to say Edgar Frankie.
Oh, Max versus Frankie?
I think so.
Wow. Okay.
But I just remember I got into the elevator and I saw Max, and he was like, oh, they give him the cool Reeboks to everybody now because I just had the bag or whatever. And I was oh shit, Max Holloway's talking to me. So it was Tisha, then Max, and then the third that I've really felt like that with was whenever I first got in the match with Joanna and Jacek. Because I'm she was still the strawweight champ at that time, the strawweight queen. I still think she's the strawweight queen. Defended the belt, I think 7 or 8 times. The only girl to ever do something like that. And she's just, she was the boogie woman,
Right.
She just had that badass, I'm going to fuck you up, I'm better than you kind of vibe. And I respected and admired that so much. So I'm those are the only 3 people I've ever felt like that for. And I feel at this point, it'd have to be I think I might get that way for Conor McGregor still, but that's about it. I'm it'd be dope to meet Conor.
Yeah. Yeah. You didn't get that way with Dana? I think I would get that way with Dana.
No, I guess not really. Yeah, definitely. I guess, those 3 fighters, the only 3 that I've ever really felt starstruck, holy shit, I'm meeting them.
It's so crazy because this whole week in LA, I got probably more messages and calls and texts. It was so funny. So I was with Elle Dawson, with Grant Dawson's wife, and even a couple people at the arena, just complete strangers, hey, Bananas Man, or hey, Mr. Fight Bananas. Like even people that I never met before were coming to me. She goes to me after the event. She's like, dude, more people recognize you at an event than they do like when I'm with Grant, the UFC top 50 lightweight. I was like, that's crazy. It really is crazy. But what I was getting at is with Jorge, like I'm with him so much and I do so much work with him. Like I'm like, I don't want to say past it. It's cool. Me and George are like, me and Jorge are awesome. I love that. The Nate thing for the first time. And he's kind of like on this legendary thing. And like, I keep telling the same story. 2 security guards walk into the ring. His whole team is waiting. And it's just me and a microphone in the middle of the boxing ring. And it's just Nate Diaz. Like, that's it. It's me and Nate. Like there's nothing else. There's no icing. There's no, pretty flowers. There's no ring girls. It's me and Nate and a microphone. It's like, all right, here we go. It was crazy. It was surreal. It was
yeah, I was going to say, it's just kind of, well, for me, obviously I'm on the other side of it typically.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's that surreal moment when I'm looking at Bruce Buffer and thinking like, it's Bruce in front of me,
Yeah.
It's just like, you have a moment to be like, holy shit. Like this is my life right now. This is happening. This is crazy.
Love it, man. The best. Gillian the Savage Robertson every Tuesday. You have any new sponsors you want to plug? Anything you want to shout?
I have one that I'm talking to right now, so hopefully I'll have one next week. And yeah, a cannabis sponsor. So we'll be rolling deep with that one.
Let's go. Wow, I like it, G. I like it. I'm telling you, like when it's all said and done, and you're 2-time world champion. I already predicted in my head, not once or twice. You won the belt twice. It's crazy. Great run. UFC Hall of Famer. 2031. You're gonna have like your own line and stuff. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a good run, G.
Oh yeah, no. The next couple of years are gonna be a good couple of years.
For sure. August 9th is Island Fights. If you don't have anything brewing before then, if Angela Hill doesn't want to push back that date, maybe August 9th we can fly you back up to Pensacola to do some chomping on the mic.
So get me on the mic, to get me on the other side of the ring, the side where it's not, I guess, not as painful.
Yeah, no pain. It's amazing. We sit there and talk and laugh for 3 hours, eating Snickers and Modelo's. It's a great time.
Yeah, not eating front kicks.
Not eating front kicks. Everything is good. Stitches are out.
They're dissolvable, so they're dissolving slowly, but they're still there, but it's pretty much healed. We're like 95% right now.
Sounds good. Guys, Gillian the Savage Robertson. Got phone calls, all kinds of stuff. All right, Gillian the Savage Robertson. Hopefully we'll talk to her next week, if not the week after. G, you're the best. We'll talk to you soon. All right, friend?
I'll see you
later. All right, there's G. All right, guys, we are rolling for the day. Yeah, Devin Cushion's fighting on that card. I know 2 more that are fighting on that card, guys. August 9th, Island Fights is going to be absolutely bananas. Christopher J will be working the show. I'll be working the show. I cannot wait. I got that Game Bred Bare Knuckle date as well. Cannot wait for that. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a good next 7 weeks. Also, July 28th, Charlotte. July 27th, Charlotte, North Carolina. Fight for it. I'll be there for that. So much more. Yeah, bum for Alex. But at least Dylan Kleckler got that spot. So we got it. But guys, I'm out. We got a busy day in the family. We got our postseason game. We got our guys, the Jaguars. We're in the Final Four. We're going to try to upset a pretty good team this afternoon. We'll see what we can do. But guys, enjoyed it. We appreciate you guys so dang much. Monday, Cage Side with Christopher James. Tuesday, we're live here at Fight Banana Show Live. Wednesday, we got Ben and Bananas. Thursday, Boxing Bananas. Sunday, we got Maddie and Wake Up with Maddie, Coffee, Maddie and Brew. Hard Olaf called Diego Lopez said he'd be finished. Have a great day. Thanks, Jay. You're giving me so much stuff. Ton of original content here in Fight Bananas. And the last little spoiler, I love doing this to you guys. We are going to add another new teammate to the team very, very soon. Probably announcement in the next 36, 48 hours. It's what we do. We love it. It's a great run right now, guys. We're just going to keep on rolling. Have a good day. We appreciate it. All of our sponsors, HKA, if you haven't already, just comment HKA, follow them. We'll send this hat out. Go to hkausa.com for 20% off. Use our promo code bananas20. All right, guys, have a good day. Cheers. We'll talk to everyone later.